What is going on, guys? Vitality is here, founder and creator of Bitcoin's Walls Club system, with another edition of Today in Crypto show. And today I'd like to discuss what is going on in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space in the short term as well as in the long term. So I'm finally back. I was traveling for a week in Ukraine and then celebrated my 33rd birthday, and it's been quite a busy week, and I'm back and we are in full swing looking into the February and 2019, what's in the loom for all of us in the Bitcoin crypto space. I'm excited as ever in the Bitcoin space, even though it is officially the longest bear market ever. Over 411 days of a bear market since December 17th, 2017, the high. So what we are seeing right now is a total market cap of $114 billion. We see slight greens today for Bitcoin and Ripple and Ethereum overall, but it is kind of consolidating in a way. So if we are looking at the charts, and this is on a weekly time frame, as you know, we've had this whole time was a descending triangle. We wanted to break it on the upwards, but it happened exactly on the opposite direction. It broke to the downside as per technical classical analysis, broke to the downside, and now we are forming this yet another triangle, although it's a symmetrical triangle, and those patterns are typically a continuation patterns, which means that it can continue the trend over the long term, and we might see yet another move to the downside from here as continuation of this pattern. Okay. Over the short term though, we might see a rebound right here as we are testing this line, this support line, and we are right at a 200 moving averages on the weekly time frame. So what I'm seeing on the short term is we might kind of consolidate in this area from 3,400 to 3,800, and then we're either going to have a decisive move on the upwards or a decisive move on the downwards. Okay, so those are continuation patterns. So chances are we are still going to continue in the bear market over the shorter term. Depending on how you look at it, the short term, a couple months from now, maybe until mid 2019, and break to the downwards. But let's look at the bigger picture of what is going on behind the scenes and what we are all kind of looking at this year and anticipating to happen over the more longer term. Okay, because it's good for day trading and swing trading. If you are interested in that, we have classes on a weekly basis. We are teaching exactly how to trade cryptocurrencies, and regardless of the price action, if it's going up or going down, you can use Bitmex leverage, for example, trading, and you can go long or go short in this case, and earn Bitcoin in this market. You can crash the market. Swing trading is more looking at those bigger wins, not like day trading. So over the long term, we have Fidelity. So Fidelity is a huge financial firm that had 13,000 institutional clients, and they want to give those clients top of the line cryptocurrency custody and trade execution. So they were silent for a while, and people wondered what is going on, and apparently they've been working on behind the scenes to launch it, and they're going to launch it by March. There's what is called the FDAS. Okay, and this FDAS was preparing to launch this is a custodial solution, custodial platform for institutional investors. So again, this is one of those things, institutional investing, that we are all been waiting for so long to come in and flood the markets, and that will instigate the next big bull run for Bitcoin. And apparently this is exactly what is happening. We have Fidelity from one side that is working on it, and by March they're going to launch it. We have Backed as well, that was supposed to launch in January 24th. They're delaying it right now because of the CFTC regulation. They're delaying this again slightly in the early 2019, but don't be surprised about what's going to happen, because they already raised initially on the first round of funding on $182.5 million, including Pantera Capital, which is a huge one of those huge investors. We anticipate Backed to emerge as a leading digital asset exchange and trusted institutional grade custodian in the developing crypto market. So all of this goodness is coming, and this is huge. This is going to be Bitcoin futures backed by physical Bitcoin. So that's for sure will bring a lot of institutional investors once it's officially launched. With all the regulations, with everything, it's not a small amount of money that they have raised, $182 million. And you can read what kind of partnerships they have, with Starbucks, like for example, collaborating with them, and NASDAQ and other companies, Microsoft. I mean, it's going to be huge. You can see the list of companies. So this is coming, right? It's still not launched yet. So this is coming probably like towards the middle of 2019. In the next couple of months, they just need to have all of the approval from the CFTC coming. So we have Fidelity, we have this Backed launching, and Coinbase, and all of these other companies, BlackRock, they're working on those institutional clients coming in. And in the meantime, we are in the bear market. We are still in the bear market, unfortunately, right? The biggest bear market that we ever had. It's not easy for the businesses in the crypto space and the mining space and all kinds of startups and all kinds of ICOs. They've lost a lot of money in 2018. This bear market is, today is 411th consecutive day prices have been in decline. Overall, we had some worse price declines. From $31.50 to $2 is 93%, and from 2013 to 2015 bear market, we had 86% price declines. So we are not at that level. We're about 82%, 83% price declines, but we're still in a big bear market. Now, along with the catalyst from the institutional investors, there is one huge force that all economics of supply and demands actually dictates that it's going to be inevitable price increase in Bitcoin, which means we're all going to make money. We're all going to make profits in the Bitcoin space, and that is due to the halving effect, the Bitcoin halving. So what exactly is this Bitcoin halving rally? So in 2012 and 2016, those years marked rallies in the Bitcoin prices because of decline in halving of the rewards for the miners. So every 4 years, or 210,000 blocks, whatever comes first, there's a halving event happening in the Bitcoin architecture, in the Bitcoin algorithms, which means the miners who are verifying transactions on the network, they are going to get half the rewards that they used to get. And just because of the supply and demand, the demand of course is going higher. There's more and more Bitcoin wallets that are being downloaded and being installed, but because of the supply is going to get less. And this event is going to happen on May 2020. And historically, somewhere around a year before this event, people already start to react to this. They're buying the event, like they say, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So they already start to anticipate this Bitcoin halving that will occur in May 2020, and the prices will start to go up to reach this equilibrium, this new equilibrium, when the new supply and demand with this halving event is actually going to occur. So this is something to keep in mind as well. as every single time that the halving what occurred in the past, Bitcoin price moved up, and we are not that far away from the next event of the Bitcoin halving on the way. Okay, what Mike Novogratz is saying, very confident that institutional investors are going to come in. There's a ton of activity under the hood, so stay the course. Stay the course. That is his advice. You know, with all of these backed platforms, the 1x SolidX Bitcoin ETF, that they are still working on it. The Fidelity digital asset services. You know, there's some good catalysts on the way, along with the Bitcoin halving event, that can propel Bitcoin to the next level. And beyond Bitcoin, we also have, you know, professors from MIT and Stanford and all of those different institutions that are actually working on their own cryptocurrency. And this digital research phenomena is just accelerating. They want to create a 10,000 transaction per second coin called Unit E. And it is absolutely clear that the future is cryptocurrencies, the future is digital currencies, and fiat currencies are going to gradually and slowly at some point collapse and fade away from the economy, and we're going to move completely to a digital economy at some point in the future. So we're still early adopters in this space, but we are moving fast and we are accelerating the market share, and eventually, like with every revolution in technology, this is the thing, this is the one that is going to crush the traditional systems, I believe, at some point in the future. So something to, even PayPal admitted that their first initial goal was to create a global currency, just like cryptocurrencies, but they succumbed to the pressures from the investors, and they learned how to play with the banking systems. So they never actually created a global currency as they initially intended to do. And they are praising Bitcoin and Ethereum for leading the way and actually making it happen. Okay, so this is what I wanted to discuss right now. On the immediate term, we do see a resistance in this area of 3,400, and you know, we might slide down from here. And again, we are on the larger time frame, on a weekly time frame. We are in a symmetrical triangle right now that is a continuation pattern that most likely to break to the downward, at least for the time being. However, it can also break to the upward as well. So it's not an investment advice. Obviously, you do your own research and you know, invest at your own risk and trade at your own risk, etc. But this is the patterns that I'm seeing right now. There's no reason to be caught like a deer in the headlights. With the bear market, it's time to take advantage of the bear market and not just survive the bear market, but to thrive on it, be prepared. And that's why we also diversified into the Forex software, and everybody who is depositing Bitcoin and funding their broker accounts with their Bitcoin and trading in the Forex market to grow their Bitcoin, they already start seeing some profits and gains in the space. And this is another cool way to hedge yourself against the crashes that might come yet again in the Bitcoin space. And whenever you are selling your Bitcoin for US dollars, or you're funding your broker account with US dollars, you are hedging yourself against the decline of Bitcoin, and you are not worried about the decline of Bitcoin prices. In fact, you are going to be gaining if this is to happen, if Bitcoin is going to fall in prices. So always diversify and always keep your portfolio well balanced. So that's it for today's In Crypto Show. Hopefully you have a phenomenal Saturday. Spend some time with your family and friends today, and everybody have a fantastic week. We're going to see in the next next week we'll do some more live trainings, and I'll announce that in the group.